Let's move on to MRX. And I have no idea what MRX is. Marex Group. All right. We are in the small cap zone, $2.5 billion market cap. Excellent. I like going over small caps. Let's keep looking at small caps. And this was Sebastian. This is Sebastian's request. Good to see you, Sebastian. Thanks again for your membership to the channel. Appreciate it. Market cap 2.48 billion. Revenue is about the same amount, 1-to-1. PE ratio 10. Forward P is 9. Okay. Marex Group financial services platform provider company provides liquidity, market access, infrastructure services to clients in the energy, commodities, and financial markets in the United Kingdom, the U.S., and internationally. It operates through clearing agency and execution, market making and hedging, investment solutions segments. The company offers execution and clearing services in metals, agricultural products. So looking at the 5-day down a lot, looking down for the month, year to date, it's 12%. And then for the 1 year, it's up 65%. It also pays a dividend. So the 1 year looks really good. The 5 year looks okay. It had a nice rise and then a settling down. No, I'm sorry. Did the market just IPO recently? Why is the 5 year? So May. Okay.
Yeah,
so it IPO'd last year on April 25th. So they've been around for a year and a half, call it. Okay, so they're doing okay. Financials, they are growing nicely. They've got a pretty good revenue rate of 2.6 billion. They make their money in interest. And commissions. Now, the market may be selling it off if the market believes, okay, interest rates are going to go down, so this group isn't going to make as much money because they're not going to charge as much interest. Broker commissions are flourishing right now. There's just so much activity, and the IPO market's heating up. It's already quite hot, and I think more companies that are private are probably thinking, hey, we should IPO right now. It's a really good environment to IPO. A lot of good things happening for a business like this. Interest rates are probably going to settle down and you're not going to be able to collect as much interest. Okay, so cash flow looks terrific. Margins are low because they're a transaction-oriented company, and they're also net interest margin related company. So that's why the margins are low. They probably have some debt because of their type of business, but they have more cash than debt. Very good. 2.9 billion net cash. Looks good. Okay. I'm just trying to orient, what are they into? What businesses? This looks really good. Looks like a good business. Okay. I got to put my thinking hat on this one because, I'm not sure if I should use free cash flow as a metric because their cash flow was 1.5 billion. Their market cap's 2.5 billion. So I'm going to get a really high value for this company if I use cash flow. So I'm feeling like I should treat them like a bank and look at earnings per share as well as book value, because they do operate as a bank in the form of, lending out capital and then charging interest on it. That's a good part of their business. So let's
they're trading quite a bit above their book, 2.72 times on the trailing 12 months and 2.03 times forward. I would tend to price them on that book value.
Correct. Yeah. Look at their book value growth. So they have grown book value really well, especially in the trailing 12 months. So that looks good. All right. So let me kick it over to you. I'm going to try to get my head around a valuation that looks at book and earnings per share and shows what you're seeing on the charts.
Yeah, so there's been a steady decline since their peak back in May. Currently down about 28% from there. Trading below all of their major averages, the 20-day, the 50-day. They moved down below the 200-day on August the 5th. That was on quite large volume, as I can see here. They are at the bottom end of the RSI. They're not in oversold territory, but they are sitting at 34. They've pretty much been below the midpoint since the end of May. The PPO is getting more bearish. Accumulation has dropped off. Cash flow or money flow has been pretty much negative with the exception of one day. So they've been, people have been moving out of this since the end of June. They are still outperforming the SPY over the last year, the S&P 500 by 42%. Financial sector by 34.85%. And then we look at their investment services, so that's their industry group. They are outperforming that by 20%, and the industry group is outperforming the S&P 500 by 18%.
Okay. So let me okay. So I'm trying to create my valuation, and okay, so the book value, let me kick it back to me. So here is some Marex, and we're going to look at their book value. So book value per share is 15.11. Tangible book is 829. Okay, I need to update my earnings per share. So we've got 6 analysts covering the stock. Their price targets range from $54 to $33. It's collectively consensus discounted by 24%. They're supposed to do $3.89, growing that earnings per share line nicely. Okay, $3.89. So it looks on average, if you average book value and earnings per share, it's 23% discounted. It's a small cap. It's kind of a space that I'm not fully, and I don't want to use the word comfortable or uncomfortable. It's more of these businesses tend to have a very unique proposition to the market. Like they do particular things, and I just don't have the knowledge to be able to assess and appreciate or not appreciate that. So I kind of treat them as financial services. They're doing market making. They're probably good at it, but I can't tell you if they're good or bad at it. So I would want a nice discount. I'd want to see more data before I jumped into an investment, but it looks like it's priced with a discount of 23%. The reason I'm careful with stocks like these is there could be a bigger player that takes their market over. They could see a lot of threats to their business. It's not like they have a moat. It's not like they can say, we're the only ones that do this. No, there's a lot of companies that do this, and that we're betting on. If we're investors, we're betting on they're just going to do it better than everybody else. So for me, it's interesting. I'm going to watch it, but it's not an investment that I'd probably make. It's the discount's not high enough, or I'm just not understanding. Do they really do have a moat? They do something that is totally different, going to disrupt other players in the space or the space altogether. I'm not seeing that. I'm not aware of that. I'm not expecting that. So that's why this one here is just a watch stock. I wouldn't buy any shares in it. Okay. So thanks for asking about MRX, Sebastian. Hopefully you found the analysis interesting. They have done well since they IPO'd. They're making money. So, but there's a lot of, I would say that if you look in this space, there's a lot of businesses that make money, but they don't, their valuations don't, they have kind of like a low ceiling. They don't go beyond that. The company that's done great in financial services for me is Robinhood. And the reason that I thought Robinhood was going to have a high ceiling is they're not doing it like they used to do it. They're breaking all the rules and saying, no, we're going to do brokerage services the way we think the next generation of investors want to see it. We're going to do crypto. We're going to do basically betting on their site. They call it something else. They call it prediction making or something like that. So you can bet on the Super Bowl on Robinhood. You can bet on Major League Baseball on Robinhood. You can bet on outcomes for politics on Robinhood. So those things are interesting to me. And they kind of broke themselves out and are now very desirable in my book. They're also trying to put stocks and assets, they're trying to tokenize them and sell them on their platform, which is a really good idea. That's a different animal than what I'm seeing out of Marex, which is a good player in a business that's well established in an industry that's well established, and they have plenty of competition. So that's how I would rate them. Anything else on Marex before we move on?
Nothing for me.